positive terms about the reality can be very misleading. Now when you say the real is called God, and now you say God is very kind, so it implies that with some appropriate method of either prayer or worship, God can be enlisted on our side. That is the corollary of saying God is very kind. And therefore they say when Brazil wins the football match, soccer match, oh, God is Brazilian. But then when Germany wins, oh, God is not Brazilian, God is German. So that is, I gave a famous example. We are no better, we are like that only. And therefore, they put everything upon God and create a system of worship and prayers, and now you cannot talk anything about worship. If you talk something about worship, that people will get disturbed. And if you talk something about prayer, people will be disturbed. If they get disturbed for everything, now you cannot talk. This is the problem with the positive terms. Just I gave you one hint. People are rewarded for their by their virtue, not for their virtue. People are punished by their sins, not for their sins. Do you get the point? Therefore, you get what you deserve all the time. But then God is only a sakshi. God is not involved in deciding who gets which benefit or who doesn't get benefit. God is not involved. Then there is a word called grace. In Christian theology, the word grace is used, that God will shower the grace, etc. And at the same time, the mystics of Christianity suggested that the word grace is not a good word at all. Because the grace means the reward that you get which you do not really deserve. Now, God is a nepotist. I don't know whether I can say like that. Nepotism means bandhu pakshapata. You see, some of these societies are very corrupt societies. What is the corruption? You give money to get your job done. Or you invoke some kind of a relation to get your job done. That is the corruption. You got the point? Nepotism and bribery. That is the essence of corruption. And if that is corruption, then what you are planning to do with God is all corruption only. That comes into that category only. So we are in the good books of God, and we belong to a tribe which is favored by the God. We are Devata tribe, favored by the God. We are not Asura tribe. Therefore God will not punish us, He will favor us. And so, and then we worship and God will reward us immediately. This is the essence of corruption. Therefore, when it comes to reality, all positive, just I will give you one example. All positive terms are mere hints and can be very misleading. Therefore, Shankara adopts the principle of negation. He describes the real as not unreal. Because otherwise what you will do? You imagine real sitting somewhere. No, it is not something sitting somewhere. It is no positive word. It is a negative word. Advaita. It is not one. One means a positive word, but very misleading. Like one fruit, half of two fruits, and 1/3 of 3 fruits. Therefore, one becomes a piece. That's why don't say one. say no duality, non-dual, you say. That is the correct representation. Therefore, there is no division, there is no duality. That is the correct representation of the philosophy. Therefore, it is Advaita, not Eka. It is not monism. You may still say that. It is not monism as much as it is non-dualism. Therefore, the negative approach is the best approach. That is the real approach. Now, you say, this is like blowing a conch before the deaf. This is how it works. You cannot speak it. If you speak, then people will take all kinds of meanings out of it. So I was accosted by someone. How can you say puja is not important? I am not saying puja is not important, but the way you present puja, that just by doing puja, your things will be done. Things will be in your favor. Just by doing puja. Therefore, you are going to a hospital, just to get a puja done on your behalf. You need not do it, somebody else will do it on your behalf, and so your health will be taken care, and hospital, medicine, everything will work in your favor. Because God intervenes and will make it. So this brings the entire philosophy, entire thought process into the very wrong track. And suppose you point it out, oh, he talks against puja. We are not talking against puja. If you do the puja right way, that is okay. The right motive you do the puja, that is fine. Nishkama karma, nishkama bhakti you do, that is fine. But this kind of kamya karma, that goes against the very spirit of Vedanta. And then prayers, all prayers, most of them, but for a few worthy exceptions, most of the prayers, they betray the misunderstanding that people have. And the prayers betray a kind of self-pity, pahimam, trahimam, this kind of prayers. They come out of the consciousness of self-pity. Therefore, this is how the positive descriptions are very misleading. And therefore, Shankara adopts the method of negation. And so he talks of the real as not unreal. He talks of the oneness of the real, the truth, as non-dual. And he talks of the real as spaceless. There is no space in it. And space and time are together. Therefore, the real is timeless. And it has no cause, therefore causeless. And it has no real effect also. Even the effect is not real. Therefore, you can clearly say it is effectless also. Because if the effect is real, then the cause undergoes a transformation. That is not Brahman. Therefore, not only causeless, but also effectless. Then beginningless and endless, because it is timeless. Now, so this is how you have to describe the reality. If you have to use a positive term, you have to be very cautious, because the positive term is likely to mislead. So, therefore, this method of negation is employed by Shankara in Dashashloki. Okay? That's why I explained the glory of negation, the importance of negation a lot in the earlier classes, but just I have reminded, because as if the first class some introduction has to be given, therefore I reminded the students of the importance of the principle of negation. That's why in Nirvana Shatkam and in the Dashashloki, the method of negation is employed. And you see one or two positive statements there, but having adopted the method of negation, you come at the end of the verse, you come to one or two positive statements, which are the direct outcome of the negation, like avashishtaha. The truth is that which remains after all negation. What remains is the truth, avashishtaha. Therefore, avashishtaha looks like a positive term, but it is not. It is the outcome of negation. Then kevalaha and ekaha, they are also outcome of negation. Kevalaha and ekaha. Ekaha one, but kevalaha one without the second. Put together, that becomes Advaita, the outcome of negation. And Tat is also there. This also I am reminding. It was all discussed earlier, but just I am reminding. Tat translates as that. The word that is used to point out something, that reality, which cannot be described in words. No words apply to it. Therefore, the word which is used to describe the real, that cannot be reached by any words, is that. That means you submit yourself to the reality, saying that I cannot describe it. Tat. Therefore, tat is not so much a positive word. In saying that, you have negated every positive description, saying that the real is that cannot be captured by positive terms. That is the meaning of tat. Ekaha kevalaha, avashishtaha, shivaha. Shivaha is also a kind of negation only, but still you can look at it as positive, but it is a positive that is the outcome of negation of the unreal. So the world which is unreal, mithya, you negate it, you dismiss it. World is unreal, you dismiss it. And what remains is auspicious. Because the word Shivaha implies that people suffer always because of falsehood. Nobody suffers because of the real or the truth. It is always the falsehood that makes you suffer. And therefore, when you look at the world as real, you suffer. And when you dismiss the world as unreal, and arrive at the real by dismissal of the unreal as not unreal, that will make you prosper, that will make you free and liberated. That's why that reality is called Shivaha, again in contrast to the world which is Ashiva. Therefore, that is how the positive words are employed. In fact, you arrive at those positive words which appear positive, but they are the corollary of the instrument of negation. That is how you have to understand. This kind of teaching of this kind of philosophy is very difficult because people are very conditioned. They are not looking for some serious philosophy, etc. They want to hear whatever that fits into their line of thinking. That they want to hear. You say such things, people will be very happy. But for some, it becomes the opposite. They don't like to be shaken. They want to remain in the conditioning which they have, which they were holding on to for a few decades, and they don't want to get disturbed. But then the description disturbs. The way I have described till now the negation, it disturbs. It disturbs. And therefore they go against the teaching itself. And so now, but what to do? The Shloki is there, what to do? Therefore, you sing it. You can nicely sing. Bhujanga Vrta, some important Vrta it is, Tadeko Vashishta Shivah Kevaloham, with veena or violin or tabla, you sing it. And Subbalakshmi, great musician, sang it. So now you move away from Vedanta into music. They fail to see the distinction between Vedanta and music. Vedanta has nothing to do with music. much less dance. But the corruption, it creeps in. So you go beyond the body-mind, then you are not defined by space. Space doesn't define you. If you take I am in identification with the body-mind, you say I am in Selosburg and I want to go to Rishikesh. Whereas if you go beyond body-mind and take the pure I am, it has nothing to do with the Selosburg. The space is not a thing of the real. That inner awareness is of no space, and it is of no time. There is no time in it, there is no space in it. And so time exists only in the mind. Space exists only in the body. Neither space nor time exist in the pure light of awareness, which is Atma. So you have to go beyond the mind. When you go beyond the mind, where is space and where is time? There is no space and there is no time beyond the mind. Beyond the body there is no space. Beyond the mind there is no time. Therefore, so you have to dive deep within. You have to dive deep within you and find the real within you and abide as the pure I am and discover that you are spaceless and timeless. That is what you are supposed to do. But unfortunately, when we mix the Vedanta with a lot of religious thinking, means religious prayers of not high quality, and then religious worships which are inspired by fear and desire and fear, that these are the worships inspired by desire and fear, and therefore now you are caught in the samsara. And in all this movement means the worship inspired by desire and fear, and then the prayers which make you a self-piteous person, the prayers coming out of the person of self-pity. So all these are the essence of religion. The way we practice the religion, this is the essence of religion. Nishkama karma is not part of religion. Nishkama karma, Nishkama bhakti is part of Vedanta only. So part of religion is kamya karmas, and then so the prayers coming out of a consciousness full of self-pity, trahimam, pahimam kind of prayers. Oh God, protect me. If you do not protect, who will protect me? That means the person is very insecure of himself. And this is the essence of religion. And when you combine this religion with the philosophy, it just doesn't gel. It is like you take the lower and the higher and make a mixture. That will not uplift the lower, but it will certainly pull down the higher. This is the Satyanuruta Mithuni Karanam, the Adhyasa, where the real and the unreal are combined. So this happens, therefore Vedanta should not be combined with popular religion. The religion of the masses is not for Vedantins. Vedantins have to rise above the religion of the... Why did you come to Vedanta? Who asked you to come to Vedanta? Go and sit at home and do your pujas and make your prayers. You wake up and then wake up God. God doesn't sleep. God is not of time. You turn east because God is in the east. God is not of space. Therefore, so you condition yourself firmly in space-time consciousness and fix God in that space-time and then come to Vedanta. Why do you come to Vedanta? And if, I'm sorry that I sound as if I am complaining, if somebody speaks the truth, you cannot digest it. You cannot take it in. So, therefore, because you don't like the truth, the philosopher should not speak the truth. Ye kya baat hai? What a confusion. Very difficult, I tell you. Every single time you have to look behind your shoulders. Because of this mix of popular religion with the Vedanta. Because popular religion is enclosed in space-time. For example, God has this form. That is space. Shape is same as space. Now you fix God in a particular form. That is space. And now you celebrate God's birthday. That is time. You celebrate your birthday also. That is time. You are not born. That is time. And you celebrate the birthday of your children. And then you celebrate the birthday of the God, of God's children. God also has children. When you have children, God also has children. You are married, God is married. You have children, God has children. You celebrate birthday of your children, God celebrates the birthday of God's children. Or you celebrate God's children's birthday on behalf of the God. So people are caught in space and time. The essence of popular religion is the bondage of space and time. That is the essence of popular religion. I can give hundreds of examples and make myself more unpopular than what I already am. The religion is caught in space-time elements. For them, you see, a person studies Vedanta for 4 years, some course or whatever, and then studies Vedanta for some more time teaching Vedanta, and then decides to live the life in Kashi so that by the time death comes, you will get moksha by living in Kashi. That means the person has never understood the real, which is spaceless and timeless. Brahma, the word Brahma means the real, which is spaceless. That is Brahma. Brahma means a spaceless reality. That is the translation of the word Brahma. So you say Brahma 1,000 times, but don't appreciate what does it mean. And you are caught in the popular religion, which is full of superstitions. And all these superstitions are based are in the structure of space-time. The superstition is God is in Srirangam, not elsewhere. That is superstition. That is not God. If God is not here, and if God is not now, then that is not God. God is always here and always now. People have to understand all this and learn to dismiss space and time. You see, I tell you, once you accept space and time as real, once you accept that much, you consider yourself to be a small person with a weak body, a sick body, old body, and you are afraid of death. Space and time go together, death is time. And then you assume that you are short-lived, you live for a short time. So this is how it happens. Once you take space and time as real, what you are supposed to do is, you have to ask the question, is the space real? Is the time real? That question you have to ask. And also you have to ask the question, Atma, am I independent? Am I dependent upon space? Or is space dependent upon myself? For example, you are sleeping, there is no space. When you wake up, there is no space yet. But when you wake up and I am the body, you identify with the body, then space comes. I am the body here. Space comes. In Sherlocksburg, space comes. I am the body now. Some age you put on yourself, so time comes. Therefore, you have to understand that space and time depend upon you. You do not depend upon space and time. You have to understand that. As body you are in space, as mind you are in time. But are you a body and a mind? Are you that much only? A mere body with mind? If you are a mere body with mind, then why do you... The Vedanta is not for you. You are not a mere body with mind. You are something beyond that body-mind. But it means beyond the space and time. So you should be able to dismiss the space and time. You should investigate. You see, if you don't mind my saying this, I have transcended space. For me, space has no meaning. I don't care for space. Suppose I have to pray to God. I don't look around for a direction and all that. If you want to pray to God, you pray. You don't need a direction if you transcend the space. But if you find yourself within the space, then you need a direction. In fact, you should not pray standing towards Dakshinam. People are caught in enormous superstitions. You can see this back in India. So is the so-called Shastra of superstition based on space. It is not a Shastra. It is a bundle of superstitions based on space. And astrology is a Shastra of superstition based on time. Who will say, I am tying the bell in the cat's neck. I am doing it. This is my prarabdha. So the whole country is caught in these two superstitions, Vastu and astrology. They are not science. There is no science in it. Absolutely away from science. And when it comes to Mahabharata time, Kavyakanta Ganapati Muni has written a book in Sanskrit on Indian history. So in Mahabharata time, during Mahabharata time, there was no Rashi, Mesha, Mena. They were not just there. They came later. So there is no astrology in Mahabharata.